Well, it is no secret. Prices for homes in Puget Sound are sky high. A recent listing for this home went viral. The asking price just under $500,000. But if you want affordable housing, part of the solution is more housing. Thanks for joining us for your news at 10. I'm David Rose.
And I'm Jamie Tompkins. The question of how to get that supply into the market is being debated this weekend. And Fox 13's Matthew Smith joins us live in studio. Matt, we know that prices, they're high, but some people are saying this really is a crisis.
Yeah, they're calling it an affordability crisis when it comes to what you're trying to pay for. Whether you rent or you're trying to buy, you know it's getting harder and harder to make ends meet with the market booming. If you own, you're practically printing money. But if you don't, it's becoming harder and harder to rent. And the idea of buying, that's becoming a pipe dream.
A tree growing through a roof with so much moss it looks kind of like a garden. This is what $500,000 can net you in Seattle's real estate market. As the next door kids asked, why?
You have to be willing and interested to pay X amount more than where we're at right now.
As Scott Hodes, who isn't tied to this property, tells me, we're in one of the wildest, biggest climbs of real estate we've seen in decades. Part of that attributable to COVID, both in how it's affecting people's behaviors and wants, but also our historic low interest rates, meaning people have more buying power. Add in a shortage of homes, and we're in a tough spot.
We don't have a lot of land. We haven't had a lot of land ever. And with the Growth Management Act, that limited what you could build where and how.
Water to the west, mountains to the east. There's more buyers than homes. And now the legislature is considering a move to open up the little land we do have to more multifamily unit housing.
I have done everything I can to make sure that housing and having this modest choice is accessible to as many people, because I have that lived experience.
Hugo Garcia, a Burien City Council member, testified in favor of what's known as House Bill 1782 this weekend. He lives in a duplex, saying it's the only affordable option allowing him to live near his aging parents. What this bill essentially does is removes restrictions for zoning near transit hubs. If properties within a half a mile of a major transit stop, municipalities have to allow builds other than single-family homes. Duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, heck, townhomes, they'd all be on the table.
What is good for one city may not be good for another. My city, Lake Stevens, is one of the fastest growing cities in central Puget Sound. Lake Stevens has accepted so much population growth in the last 7 years that we are roughly 80% of our 20-year growth target.
A number of cities are pushing back. That includes Lake Stevens, Gig Harbor, Issaquah, Kent, and Auburn. But with sky-high real estate prices for unlivable homes, people may not agree how, but everybody seems to think more housing is key.
You know, it's not just home prices going up either, though. Rent's going up. In Seattle, prices are up 22% year to year, according to Apartment List. And where people go if they're priced out, that is the real question. It's the real problem. The legislature is also looking at proposals that would require a 6-month notice of a rent increase, but much like this middle housing bill that we're talking about, there's no certainty that the bill will ever make it to the governor's desk.